Now that we all have our seatbelts on, I want to talk to you today about how you can achieve 12% sales growth with a mobile loyalty app. I'm Jim Steinberg. I've spent my career working with technology solutions that enable businesses to delight their customers and make more profits. It's a win-win for everybody involved. And my theme today is very much along those lines. My firm, Loyalty Plant, has done 580 mobile loyalty apps over the past 6 years. We're very well known globally, particularly in Central Europe, for delighting customers. And our customers have included some of the largest names in restaurants like KFC, Pizza Hut, Burger King, Hooters, and we also work in much smaller chains. The great thing about the technology platform that we've developed is whether or not you have a few stores or thousands of stores, you can apply it directly to your business. We now support over 9 million end users, and essentially what we provide is a white label mobile app that has all of the functionality to fully engage and delight customers, which we can customize to specific brands so that it becomes very much your brand. Okay, why invest in a mobile app? As I walk around and talk with people and try and get their attention from their mobile phone, people realize that the mobile phone is the primary communication computing device that we all share today. 80% plus smartphone penetration in the USA today, and 87% of time on smartphones is spent in apps. In other words, right now the mobile web is relatively dead compared to the traffic that apps are getting. And there's some very good technology reasons and user experience reasons for that. The experience that you get is much faster within a mobile app. And let me just take a quick survey. Uber users, do I have a few here? Okay. I bet you continue to use it based on the delightful experience that's been provided. Particularly younger generations, millennials and now what they're calling centennials, are truly not just digital natives, but mobile natives. They expect you to have a delightful experience for them in the app, and they expect your brand to be in their hand. So why not take advantage of it? We are seeing, because of mobile-first brands like Uber and like Facebook, more and more restaurant brands like Starbucks, like Panera, who have really pioneered the digital space, like our client KFC in Europe. So we're all about making sure that the delights and expectations of that mobile-first experience are brought to a wider audience. So what are consumers and brand marketers up against in terms of expectation? Well, it's pretty clear 86% of consumers are expecting a personal, relevant experience. When you pick up your phone and you see your Facebook news feed, you want and expect information which directly is based on the user profile that they have put together. In a similar way, restaurants know a tremendous amount about their customers. And we had a really good tech talk earlier in the day about the ability to profile your customers and bring in secondary data to enrich and enhance those profiles. The tough thing for restaurants today is, and for all marketers, you can develop the most sophisticated profile of that consumer. And then the question is, how do I put that into action with accuracy? How do I, in real time, create campaigns which are going to fill my stores with traffic and bring in new customers, bring in repeat business, build the overall sales and profitability? That's what we built into our platform, and that's why we're getting such great sales results from KFC and others. Marketers definitely see the personalization aspect as the future of the business. In almost all cases we're talking now about how retail is being totally transformed. how retail, with what Amazon's been able to accomplish in terms of customer profiling, the offline major retailers are having a hard time competing with the kind of customer insight that an Amazon brings to their marketing program. Well, that's available to all restaurant operators today with relative ease in terms of being able to bring in a technology platform that gives you all the insights you need and turns that into actionable campaigns with a few clicks through a wizard. Apps are definitely the place to be for customer relationships that matter. Our firm is very focused on the key performance indicators that allow restaurants to manage their business in the digital age. So we've developed benchmarks over time for different classes of trade. These particular benchmarks are for quick service restaurants based on our global experience working with folks like KFC and Burger King. The key piece about why apps can work for you, but require the investment, is that they will drive traffic when properly managed. So we talk about 30% loyalty program app penetration. By that we mean every third transaction for KFC was recorded and driven through the loyalty app. Those kinds of penetration numbers are what you should be and going for. And I go to restaurant conventions throughout the year. I talk to people who are disappointed about the results of their apps, and I ask them questions around the quantitative metrics. The highest number I've heard competitively is about a 17% penetration. That just is not acceptable. You can get much higher numbers, but you need to work with folks who know how to use the medium, who know how to use the technology. Just having the technology platform alone isn't going to do it for you. Working with people who know how to drive traffic profitably for you would be an enormous help. These are just a few representative numbers. We found that you can get 1,500 real customers per location using that app based on a population of about 4,500 total customers. Generally, we're integrated with the point of sale system, so we're able to see exactly what percentage is being driven through the loyalty piece. Other benefits that clearly come from driving business through the app, we see a 30% average check increase when the app is used. And if you think about it, apps are kind of addictive. Once you have it in your hand and you're able to make your own choices and you see higher priced available items that are that much more attractive, it's hard to resist. The medium of what we do is absolutely wonderful for driving increased sales. And I'll show you that in just a minute with our user experience. The other key pieces are you can run marketing campaigns against your existing app user base. So we are seeing incredible numbers in terms of conversion. We cite here 14% plus conversion from app win-back campaigns. There's obviously low-hanging fruit for every restaurant. If you don't know who your customers are who haven't visited over the relevant period of time for you when you would expect them back, push out a win-back campaign, a full-screen notification. I'll show you an example in a minute. But done with the right message at the right time to the right customer, there's nothing better in terms of a marketing communication that's going to generate results for you. We saw just last week, working for KFC, a number which I find absolutely extraordinary, but perfectly credible based on the experience we've had. We got a 60% conversion rate for a lottery campaign that we ran for folks who had purchased an item who wanted to come back the next month to find out if they were winners. Guaranteed foot traffic for you. Guaranteed incremental purchase. I can't wait to see what it did to the sales numbers. We have lots more benchmarks, all of which ladder up to a 12% sales increase. And I'll talk a little bit more about why we're so confident about that number, given the way it was tested by KFC and AmRest. As we say, simply having an app presence with some features is definitely not enough to achieve those key performance indicators. And I'll give you just a quick example of that. Digital ordering is sweeping our industry. At this point, I'm seeing a lot of recognition of the audience too. Digital ordering for defensive purposes is a necessity, but it's not going to make you a lot of money. It can be a really difficult thing to implement successfully. Doesn't have to be, but for many people it turns into difficulty. But digital ordering on its own isn't going to do much for you. It would be like putting a pair of pants in the mall and expecting people to buy your pants. Digital ordering is just a functional feature. So it doesn't give you any reason necessarily to use that. It's not going to necessarily move people from the aggregators where digital ordering is done and you're giving up lots of your profit margins. So why would you do it? Well, I'll give you a really good reason. Embed it into a really engaging mobile solution, the way KFC's done in Europe, the way Starbucks is done in the United States. How many of you are Starbucks users? Okay, well, the CEO continually says on every earnings call that the loyalty aspect of the mobile app, along with the digital ordering, the ability to pay in the app and pick up, the loyalty is what really drives it. And when you think about all the surrounding features that go into driving digital ordering and all of your business, you can see, give the consumer the incentive. My favorite, I worked in mobile for about 4 years directly now, and gamification is absolutely huge. I'm a New Yorker, and I ride the subway to work. I look around me, and it's like Candy Crush City. I mean, it's absolutely awesome, the amount of gaming that's being done all around. That's about 50% of mobile traffic overall. Well, why not leverage that? There's no reason why your experience can't be a bit of a game for the consumer as well. And mobile loyalty is a game. If you think about it, I'm sure, almost everybody here is probably a member of some mobile loyalty program. Travel, for instance, your dream vacation, hey, I'll get a few more points and, we'll do the week in Mexico or whatever it is. Something in front of you. In a very similar way, once you work with the food particularly, which can be the reward, which can be a much lower cost way of rewarding folks with complimentary menu items, it's enormously powerful. It's got the appetite appeal on screen, and it's got an emotional appeal that develops a relationship between one-on-one, the consumer and your brand. I'll talk about a few of the others here in the specifics of the KFC case, but the other one that I'll just call out, just to kind of give you a flavor for what's going on, is proximity marketing. Geo-marketing right now, you're all going to be hit by it by your competitors. What's going to happen is, if you're a burger customer, at 11:30, if you've downloaded the McDonald's app in a year or two, without a doubt, they're going to try and give you a push notification saying, hey, 11:30, you must be getting hungry, giant Big Mac. Why not use that now? And you can do it competitively as well. If you're in an area and you've got a direct competitor right across in a geo range, we often do traffic pattern analysis. We find, when the kids from the university are coming up for lunch, when workers are coming out from corporate headquarters, all that traffic is available to be geo-targeted today. Enormously powerful. But it's got to be done right. You can't just say, hey, we do geo-targeting and think that that's going to deliver the business results for you. You've really got to dig in with a team that's dedicated to, your customer success. So that's why, in comparison to digital ordering alone, where generally we think you get about a 10% penetration directly, when you actually do it in a mobile loyalty app, you're going to be getting 30 to 40% of your customer base covered, and you're going to be getting 12% same-store sales growth in that range. We know from all of the secondary literature that an engaged customer, we live in the era of engagement, and an engaged customer today is worth about 23% more in terms of revenue than an average one. And if you think about all the ways that you can build revenue through the app, I'll talk about some of the automated marketing campaigns we do. A birthday party, an automatic notification for an offer around a birthday. Nobody comes in on their own to celebrate their birthday. So we're almost guaranteed, and we have lots of case studies of sales lift anywhere between 10 and 50% on average for a birthday party sales check. Just one of the components that builds into sales build. So there are really two steps for maximizing your profit. This is really easy to describe. I'm going to get engagement from the customer. I'm going to turn that engagement into revenue. That's what it's all about. How do we create engagement? Well, this is the first time I'm actually showing you the app, but this bonus loyalty program, we make it very easy to implement. So the bonus loyalty program is all about being able to provide a reward for the individual purchase. We use QR codes, it's an easy scan, it gives you a record of the transaction, and your points are then recorded. The second piece is, it's food. It's highly visual and highly compelling. In the case of KFC, they know that they're up against the Burger Boys, and they know that those fries from the Burger Boys are one of the absolute drivers for Burger Boy traffic. So a full screen resolution, and even the worst smartphone today has a pretty good picture on it. The third piece is providing a very enjoyable user experience for the app overall. You're all very familiar with the Facebook news feed. They have perfected that over several years. In a similar manner, we built that for our customers so that the home screen is always going to be a news feed that has personalized and relevant information based on what we're capturing regarding your profile. So whether or not that's great ways to get more points, or whether or not that's new sources of revenue for you, like gift cards. Millennials in particular are very used to using electronic gift cards, which could be a whole new revenue stream for you. In a similar manner, catering could be a whole new revenue stream for you. I was a client in Cincinnati recently. They have customers at Procter & Gamble, one of the big corporations in town. They have no way to get catering directly except by going through a torturous process of becoming an authorized vendor. But they do have lots of employees who love to eat there who can bring in catering orders. That's a whole new source of revenue for them. So it's all about providing personalized offers as well. If that person is a mom with kids, you want to be giving and pushing out offers that will get the whole family to come in. And that can be an entire driver for an increase in traffic overall for the restaurant chain. So again, just a very enjoyable user experience that people get comfortable with quite quickly and that they keep coming back to because it's content that they want to see. If you've got a new item and you know that there's a segment of your database that continually samples new menu items, then you've got to put that in front of those folks. They're looking for that. So here we have we work really using customer personas. So Susan's one that we use often. She's a student. She visits KFC during lunch hours, and she loves football. So we come up with a special lunch from $5 offer. We give her a choice of lunch boxes that makes it really easy. And then we put in all that really cool content. KFC are currently sending their new Zinger sandwich into space. So they're all about, refreshing the brand and making it more relevant to a new generation. So all of that delightful content is there, and it costs you nothing, engages your customer, and builds repeat visits, which you can then monetize. The last one is providing incentives to actually download the app. One of the biggest objections that I hear about loyalty apps, which I can blow away in 30 seconds, is loyalty apps only appeal to my loyal users. How many folks actually believe that? Not too many here. But I do hear that from kind of folks who have avoided loyalty programs in the past. This feature alone makes a loyalty program worthwhile. Loyalty programs can be your biggest new customer acquisition channel. You have a loyal customer who's using your restaurant regularly. It's a chance to incentivize them to share that experience and that app with their friends. So for a couple of points, you can give a one-click ability to offer a promo code and have Susan push that app install out to her friends and say, we launched a tasty app, download and get a free gift. And that social media promotion has been huge, bigly huge. It manages to build out the user base. We've seen sales of anywhere between 10 and 25% of sales coming from new customers who have been referred through the app. Okay, so we've engaged that consumer. Let's bring it home. Let's talk about how we're going to convert engagement into revenue. Well, the first is we can drive digital ordering. Suddenly that customer who's going after their loyalty points has a fully functional digital ordering capability within their hand, and they know where to do that most conveniently. So it's built right into the app. We have tons of statistics. Here are two. Taco Bell says they see 30% higher average order values on mobile compared to in-store. Again, because it's in your hand, there's a lot more capability to upsell, cross-sell, do what's needed to bring in a larger ticket. The second piece is Starbucks Mobile Order and Pay. They have a huge problem on their hands. We should all have their kinds of problems. Their Mobile Order and Pay has been so successful that they've gone to new operational measures that they're testing to set up separate lines for Mobile Order and Pay customers. It's only going to expand. I mean, as customers get conditioned to doing that at Starbucks, they're going to want to do it in your restaurant too. It now represents 10% of total transactions, and every time Starbucks does a call, their quarterly earnings call, they increasingly sound like a tech company that just happens to sell coffee. So you can see more of that in the future. The second piece is, and this is the crucial piece about our platform, we turn analytics insights into effective marketing campaigns. We call that analytics to action. You can immediately, using a CRM database that's integrated into our platform against this mobile app, you can immediately do a segmentation and pull out and send a relevant personalized communication to whatever segment of your audience you want to reach that day. And you can do that based on the business objective that you want to accomplish. If it's a slow afternoon on Tuesday across the chain or at an individual store, you can push out a campaign, to a geo campaign, to people in that area saying, hey, come on in, get a free ice cream cone, give them a complimentary item. It's all gravy for you guys. It's all new revenue. The third piece is all of this can be automated. Marketing automation is real today. We do it with simple things like birthday campaigns, which typically yield nice incremental sales. But bounce back coupons, win back campaigns, all of this can be automated so you can really do it at scale. And that's what we're doing that really differentiates for major chains like the KFCs of the world. But again, it can be leveraged on a much smaller footprint. And the proximity marketing piece, highly leverageable as well. I would say get into this sooner rather than later, because this is going to be standard across the industry. And what people are doing now is they're trying different things. Often they're investing in a lot of different digital channels, which tend to dilute the overall effort. We have the best practice playbook on how to make apps and mobile analytics work for you. So I would say, let us show you the best practice playbook. The fourth one, and I talked a little bit about before, but when you see the creative, it really helps, is creating new in-app revenue streams. And gift cards is just a terrific way, particularly where you've got an entrenched group, where you've got the convenience factor, and you've got last-minute need to gift. This is pretty much it. You would want to be sending something like this and getting the benefit of the points as a result of that gift. So here are some actual results from KFC Europe. And we've got essentially a 30-page case study. We won an award from Loyalty 360 for this, for our work for Pizza Hut, for many others. I think once you see all of the metrics and how they roll up to 12%, you begin to get a very credible idea of how all this works together in a synergy. This is my favorite chart. We took light users and turned them into heavy users. And that alone is responsible for the bulk of the 12% sales lift that they got. And make no mistake, KFC is directly up against the other QSRs. They know that 95% of their customers eat at multiple QSRs every month. So this is not, this is something that they had to do, and they're really happy with the results. The other key piece is the app is driving more frequent visits. We have an ability to do in-app surveys as well, and we've done many that prove out the efficacy of the app. But in this case, in June 2016, 67% said that they were visiting the KFC more often because of the app, and by March 2017, we were up to 74% of them saying that they visited KFC more often because of the app. That's a 7% increase of people saying that they more frequently visited specifically because of the app. And this is really the slide that pays it all off. This is one of the few instances where we were able to design and execute a true A/B test that managed to isolate all of the exogenous marketing variables. The mass communication remained the same across the footprint. The stores were matched up for identical profiles in terms of seasonality, in terms of customer base. They were actually multiple mall locations which were segmented into A/B. And the app was only available for use within certain stores. And what you see is what AmRest, who are the major franchisee of KFC in Europe, provided in terms of results. You can see anywhere between 14 and 16% with an average of 12% same-store sales growth. So this is something that can be truly engineered. And the reason perhaps that we see so much variance across those numbers is in part because the way we work with our clients on many occasions like this one is we provide domain expertise that we bring to the table. We do promotional planning with them. So we say, what are your problems coming up for the next 3 months? We're all about proving and making this work for your business. So we're not just a software service, we're very much a full marketing solution.